I'm excited today because I have some easy techniques, a couple of tips on how to draw your flowers and get them down on your paper without using a pencil. So get ready and we're going to have lots of fun. Color's not going to really matter. Value is going to matter today. With watercolor, we always start light and we build to our darks. And I love these shapes of pieces. Like if I cut off an edge of paper, I really enjoy these because they give me a layout where I can run through and practice. And practicing is what makes it all happen. If I look at this as just a circle, I can start by just putting a circle on my paper and then a center. With the 5 petals, I would just shape them. But you can see it's just a circle. And all I did was add the petals within the circle. And then I'm going to just give this a little bit more of a curved edge. That's all I'm going to do. But I don't even do that much drawing. But I wanted to make sure you could understand how simple that shape is. So I can just curve out some of these edges. I can connect them bigger if I want. This is, whatever the round flower is I'm painting. Because this is water soluble, I can go right in with my water on this little practice piece and start breaking this down. This is the one reason I do really like water soluble graphite, because I can start using it to paint with. And if I want to pull some of that edge around the outside, but this is just showing you exactly how I would practice to learn my shapes. And the more I pull around this, the more I activate that graphite, the more you could see that flower appearing. Okay, so that's really a simple shape. The other way I would put a shape down, if I don't want to draw it and I want to go right in with my paints. So I'm just pulling out a little bit of color. So on the theory of how I got this, I'm thinking of this as having 5 points where the petals are. So I can come next to it and I could put down 5 points in a circular flow or an oval. See how this one looks more oval. And then all I'm doing with my paints is I'm going to start thinking about that shape. Now, the other thing is I don't want to completely outline this entire flower because I want it to bleed out. So I'm already left edges free. Now I'm just taking water. And I always find when I paint anything in the negative, I need to put it into a space. So I'm talking now about practicing this. But as soon as I put it into a box, I'm giving it a space for it to live in. I'm not just outlining my flower. I'm letting it live somewhere in this space. Okay, so already I have soft edges. I can pull a little bit from the outside in towards the center. And what that's helping to do is already helping to shape my flower, and it's helping to bring some shadow in. Just by pulling in a little bit from the outside. If I still feel I have too many hard edges, I can always take my brush. I cleaned my brush. It has the barest amount of water. After I dip my brush in the water and I clean it, I usually dab it off once. I don't want it to be dripping wet when I come in. And now I can come in with the point of my brush very flat, pointing to this hard edge, and I can slightly touch that edge and break it up so that it's not everything has a hard edge. So that's how I create a lot of these edges around my white flowers. And then I would get darker. So I'm just going to add more pigment. And what you can see is I'm just giving some life to the background. That's all I'm doing around this white flower. As I do that, I'm giving the center a few minutes to dry. And if I want to add a little more color to this, that's not a problem. And these are the colors I'm going to pull inside my flower. So again, my brush is clean. I just tapped it off once. I'm not looking for a totally dry brush, but I don't want it so wet that it's going to run in so strong. And I grabbed a little bit off the edge there. And already it starts to have that shape, that feel of a flower. Okay, I can go darker. I'm going back to my shadow violet. If at any point you're painting with watercolor and you feel it's too dark, all I have to do is take water and lift. Clean my brush, just lift with a little water. That's all I have to do. That's all you have to do. And now let's see, the center should be, it's a little wet. So if it's wet, that means I need less water on my brush. Whenever you come into a wet area, if you don't want it to flood out, you have to lose the water on your brush. Okay, very soft center because it is wet. Clean my brush. And I'm just keeping a nice soft center there. If any lines are hard and look too dominant, I can just take my clean brush and soften them also. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the process that I go through. And then that center, I feel that center needs to be at least as dark as some of the background. I'm just going to change brushes. I'm coming in with a rigger brush, just a smaller brush. I know it'll carry a lot less water and pigment for me. But now that's nice and dark, which helps me give that illusion of it being pushed back with depth. And again, I can soften it out. And this one, I can simply change the same thing. I'm just going to grab the same colors and run my brush right around this. If you notice how flat I'm working my brush, because then I can just get it into more space and it helps me work faster. Just some water. And once I've outlined that, you can see how much it comes alive. Thank you for being part of my watercolor world today. It was a fun workshop. I hope you enjoyed the techniques I showed you and working through those beautiful loose washes, the soft edges, and just the overall fun of painting white flowers. I will see you in my next video. Bye.